Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Friday, April 13th, 2018. Happy Friday the 13th. I hope you'll have a good one. I know those of you who watched me know that I do like Friday the 13th, considering I was born on the 13th, although I wasn't born on a Friday, but it does fall on the 13th, so I like these days. I think they bring good luck instead of bad luck, and I hope that happens to be the case today, although we'll talk about it now. All right, so what's going on today is that we do have the moon here hanging out in Pisces. All right, and I think what the moon in Pisces brings, of course, is a lot of things going on internally, spiritually, emotionally, trying to process your emotions, figure out what's going on inside you, overcome the past so that it is that you can move forward in some way, okay? So that's what I think is going on with the moon here hanging out in Pisces. All right, last night and into this morning, well, I guess really it was at 5 a.m. So 5 a.m. this morning, Mountain Time, we have the moon here in Pisces make a sextile over here to Pluto around the same time that it makes a trine to Jupiter, since they're both at 21 degrees. And I think what that could bring up at 5 a.m. this morning is going to be a chance for you, I want to say, to maybe begin to make some more changes in your life, or to have some feelings come up about your life, about where your life is going in some way. Okay, because this is a sextile though, and because Jupiter's involved in a pretty trine here, I think if there are any changes that you decide to make this morning, or if any feelings do come up, they are positive feelings. They are positive changes. I think that it could be early this morning a chance for you to finally understand in what way you need to change your life, in what way you need to address some feelings, maybe some uncomfortable feelings going on with you, in a positive way, to overcome them, to feel better with them. To do what needs to be done here to put your life in a better place. So I actually really do like what's going on today. And if you watched my horoscope yesterday, I really liked what was going on yesterday. So I think this morning there are some positive things happening here for you to finally start to feel like, okay, I'm getting a better understanding of where I want my life to go, of how I need to change my life to feel much better about where my life is going, and of how I need to address some of my feelings to move forward, okay? So I really do like that. That's happening at 5 a.m. Mountain Time. Okay, and that's going to last for most of the day until 8 o'clock at night Mountain Time, okay? And at 8 o'clock at night, we kind of get like a challenging aspect that comes in. I think yesterday, to be honest, was such a beautiful day. Like, I don't think I've seen a day that good in the astrology, well, with the moon at least, in a really long time. Okay, and I really like what was going on yesterday, and I like what's happening this morning. And then after we have all these pretty things, what we get at 8 o'clock at night is then the moon then comes over a conjunction with Chiron at 29 degrees Pisces. And I think what that could definitely bring up tonight is some uncomfortable feelings about our past, about what's going on inside us, intuition, spiritually, maybe feeling like we cannot overcome our past to move forward. Maybe losing our faith. Maybe we had faith yesterday that we were putting our life in the right place, like we had some good intuitions, and maybe now we're doubting ourselves. We're worried that it can't work. Maybe now we're like scared. We're like right on the brink, the cusp, literally. I mean, Chiron at 29 degrees of Pisces, we're literally on the cusp of like becoming a new person in Aries, starting over again. Becoming a new person, doing things that we need to do to feel much better, that really resonate with us here. And it's almost like we're scared. I think what happened maybe yesterday is that we got all of these insights, downloads about our life, about who we are, about how we can feel better about our life, about where our life is going. I like to think bringing us major peace and structure to move forward, and then all of a sudden at 8 o'clock tonight, the moon comes over Chiron and maybe we worry about it. Well, what if all of that was fake? That I just like realized, like, what if I can't actually do this thing that I just realized? Like what if it's all good in theory, but like, what if I can't actually make it happen? Or like, sure, I want to do this, but now it's going to take time and it's going to take work to actually put these intuitions into place. And so I think there could be some uncomfortable things that do come up at 8 o'clock Mountain Time with the moon in a conjunction to Chiron, but really needing to have faith and to trust that the intuitions, the insights, the things you have received yesterday are true and can work. Yes, they may take time. Yes, they may take patience. Yes, they may take more work than you want to give them. All right, but the things that you came up with yesterday, that you realized, that you felt, if you felt peace, are ultimately going to help you. And I think you need to believe that, and you need to trust that, and not let any things that hurt you get you down. Okay, the moon coming into Chiron at 29 degrees saying, look, you need to beat these things that have kept holding you back time and time again. You need to beat them. You need to face up to them. Okay, you need to stand up to the bully. Chiron, a little bit of a bully. Stand up to the bully here, and once you do it and tell Chiron, look, I don't believe in the lies you're telling me because I saw the vision of my future yesterday, I think it's going to help you to start to move forward better. Okay, so that's what I see going on there. After that happens at 8 o'clock at night, 2 hours later, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, the moon then comes off of Chiron and enters Aries. And I think what goes on when the moon then enters Aries is that we begin to start to, coming off of Chiron, maybe some trepidation there, but I think we start to make some more moves, even if we're hurting a little bit, to do some things that are important to us, to put, to move forward, to feel better, to do some things we want. Okay, so that's going on at 10 p.m. And that's going to hang out for a few hours, because the next aspect isn't going to happen until 5 a.m. tomorrow Mountain Time. And at 5 a.m. tomorrow Mountain Time, then we've got the moon coming on top of Mercury in Aries. And I think what that could bring tomorrow and leading into tomorrow is lots of thoughts, lots of thinking, lots of conversations here about your life, about you, about who you are, about how you can move forward in a better way. And I think you got the intuition yesterday, the day before, okay? You may have doubted it a little bit coming in today, but once you get to the moon on top of Mercury, then comes to more planning, strategy, okay? Using these intuitions to understand them logically, to put a plan in place, to process mentally now everything that's happened internally, so that you can start to do the things that you want, understand who it is that you are better, and move forward now that Mercury's slowly coming out of retrograde with more clarity than you have. Okay, and you could be feeling a little bit hurt still with the moon coming off Chiron, but I think the moon in a conjunction to Mercury is saying, okay, mind over matter now. Have faith and believe in your vision and the things that came to you intuitively, and now get to work putting a plan in place, a strategy in place to make some of these things happen, and to work on them even if you're a little bit unsure, even if you're a little bit not comfortable about it. You have to have faith, and now you have to figure out how to do these things that it is that you need. And the moon's going to come through the next few days, and it's going to square Mars and Saturn here, saying, look, you need to figure out now how to take all these insights that you received and put in the work to do them, to make them happen, and to bring everything together based on the spiritual downloads, the information that you got, and hopefully have that sustain you here as you put some more of the work in. All right, so that's what I see going on today. Now for some stuff going on in the background. What we've got is Venus still in a trine with Mars, coming off of it a little bit here, but really giving us a chance to start to work in a very dedicated and determined manner towards things that are important to us, to create more of the life that we want, building upon it, doing more of what we value, maybe possibly even working with our money or our relationships here to create a life that we like better and put our life in the right direction. Okay, I see it being very positive, especially after the moon being in these aspects. I think yesterday maybe we got some spiritual downloads on our life, on what we need to feel better, on where we want our life to go. And I think now that the moon is starting to come into Aries, we're realizing, okay, we got to actually do these spiritual insights that we received. We can't just live on faith and intuition, even though I think we got some very important intuitions and inspirations that we need to take with us and that are going to be very useful. But I think the moon now moving into Aries says, okay, you have this inspiration, you've seen more or less the vision of where things are going. Now you have to get to work doing them, especially at the new moon coming in soon. And I think Venus in a trine with Mars is now starting to kick in, saying, okay, let's get to work. Let's do these things. I'm going to help you start to move forward, feel more stable about everything and less chaotic. All right. Okay, so I see that being very positive. Venus and Mars also, as we're making this trine, sextiling Neptune together, that's kind of pretty. Well, very pretty. I think really saying the more you can start to build something, to move forward in a dedicated way, to stop changing things, to focus on a few things, and to move forward more in a more practical way, you're going to start to feel better, more at peace with yourself, like you're overcoming the past. You're going to get more intuitions, more inspiration, feel more creative. Okay, so I do think a lot of good things going on. Okay. Yeah, Mars sextile Neptune, a very creative aspect for sure. Very compassionate too whenever you get sextiles to Neptune. So I think there's a lot of chance to be creative and a lot of chance as well to be very compassionate too, especially with Venus there, with your relationships with other people, to help other people work, move forward, and to just, yeah, to support yourself, to support others doing some things you want and need. So I really like it. I really like it. What else do we have going on? We also do have Venus. This is kind of an interesting thing. As Venus is moving further through the sign here and making this pretty aspect, it's kind of coming into an opposition with Jupiter very slowly. Not there yet today, but it will be. What that could also bring too is maybe with the opposition to Jupiter, desire to change a little bit coming in, you know, and I don't even know if it's a desire to change. We just have been, like, that's just what life has been. So especially since the beginning of this year is like crazy change, crazy feelings coming up, uncomfortable feelings. And I think the opposition that Venus is now making to Jupiter is saying, okay, like, I get it, you know, there are a lot of changes going on in your life, a lot of feelings coming up, but you got to find a way more and more, especially with the way things are changing in the astrology, to build more stability in your life, to feel more secure with what is happening, to not change so much, or if you are changing, to change in ways that are better for you, that can bring more stability to you and not take away from it, to change in ways that aren't so upsetting or that can heal some of your emotions instead of make them worse. Okay, so that's also going on too. Venus at the same time, it's going to make this opposition to Jupiter, also making a trine to Pluto too. I think saying, okay, stability is a huge thing and you need to start to figure out now. You need to start to figure out, especially as we're coming into this new moon with a lot of things going on, you need to start to figure out here how to build more stability into your life, okay? I think that's just a huge thing. And the opposition to Jupiter, the trine to Pluto saying, if you're going to change your life right now, you're only going to change it, or you need to change it to build that stability and to feel much better. And I think the trine to Pluto is saying, okay, now is the time. Now is the time to make like one fell swoop, to take care of some of your issues in a really big way, to start to bring everything together, to really start to transform yourself, to get away from this time of chaos and of uncomfortable feelings, to start to finally build in a much better way moving forward. And I think that's what's coming there, okay? While that's going on, the sun also coming off of a square to Pluto, so still some changes going on, but changes being, again, to build more stability and more comfort into your life, doing things that are really important to you. And while this is going on, the sun and the new moon coming very close to Uranus, saying, okay, if you can build the structure into your life that you need, you can build all of that in, it's then going to help you to break free, to feel more free, to assert your freedom, to express yourself authentically. Okay, so I think it's going to be a really beautiful thing coming in here, I like to think. But it's just a matter of you figuring out how to take this time of crazy change and mutability with things being in Sagittarius and hone in on them, narrow them down, build on them, change your life so that you can build on things, or a few things that are the most important to you. And I think if you can do that, so much more with the Neptune, inspiration is going to come in, comfort is going to come in, with Uranus, freedom, for you to finally feel much better, more authentically yourself, like you can maybe relax a little bit moving forward. Some unexpected things with Uranus too could start to come in here, especially in the next week as well, because the sun is moving closer to it. But I think these unexpected things here are meant to help you envision, especially Uranus being the ruler of Aquarius, envision a life that is better for you, start to move towards that here, and understand what you need to live a life that you like better, and to start to relax into it, okay? So that's what I see going on. I think now, especially at the new moon, we're making a big change. I've been talking about a change from Saturn and Sagittarius to Saturn and Capricorn for a long time, okay? And I think this is definitely going to be it. This new moon in Aries, building, going from new things, experimenting, trying whatever, to, okay, doing, making things happen, building on it, moving forward. And I think this is the moment here. You got to take all this stuff you've been working on lately and you got to narrow it down so it isn't so crazy, and so you can feel better with where your life is going. All right, so that's what I've got for you. Your card for the day is Death reversed. Wow. How do I even, you know, I guess Death, like, I never even really get this card reversed. You know, death upright definitely does indicate obviously a death, an ending of sorts. But how am I going to say? You know, I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to say this death reverse is a coming out of an ending, a beginning, starting to actually move forward. You know, maybe the ending has already happened, or you're in the process of this ending occurring, and the new day is dawning. All right, I think that's what's going on here with this card. I mean, I don't know, you guys have, I try to combine the astrology with the tarot here, and yeah, and I definitely see, I mean, to me, like Saturn in Sagittarius is dying. I'm very happy about that because I just finished my Saturn return. So that's the way I'm going to interpret this card. You're coming out of one phase and you're moving into another, and I think this card reversed is saying maybe the new life is starting to take more hold. Maybe you're starting to see more of the new life and less of the old. And if that's not the case, maybe you need to start adjusting your perspective. Since we're coming up on the dawn of a new moon, maybe you need to start adjusting your perspective to see a life that's better for you. And I think that will help you do what needs to be done so that you can come out on the other side anew. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.